The rumor has it that if I started the show right now, by the time WrestleMania come on, I think I'd be done. I think. Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, she means always, they mean always, you mean always, an instant classic.
Danny Dunn! Hi, JJJ.
We will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
All right, what is going on, good people? Back at it once again. DJ here. Casey's also here at the bottom. Justin is here, and Adam has left the building and is back now. But what is going on, good people? Back at another AEW pay-per-view review. On the bright side, real quick, because I know there's a lot of not a lot of negatives to say, but on the bright side of the AEW event. I do like that it feels like they do pay-per-views not every month or every 2 weeks. That is good.
They just decided to do that in one night.
Yeah. But we're gonna talk about this AEW almost a revolution, Double or Nothing 2022. We're gonna review this one here.
We're going to review Dawn, everybody. We're going to review Dawn.
Don.
Don Callis.
All right. So we're going to do it a little different.
We're going to question our life decisions.
I've been doing that since Sunday.
We're going to do it a little different since the show was very long. And I don't think we all want to talk about every single match, or nor did we care about every single match, at least anyway. But let's just start with this, like we always do. Overall thoughts on the show.
Over yet?
Yeah, is it over yet? Is the overall soliloquy? I think for all of us. For me, I didn't hate it. I really didn't.
You naive
Well,
child.
buckle up, kids. It's about to be a long show.
I personally didn't hate it. Like I said, I try to come into everything with open mind as much as I can.
You need to close that mind.
And for me, I'm gonna be honest. The start of the show, like first 3 or 4 matches, I wasn't necessarily opposed to. There were some times where it got a little sloppy. There was the Anarchy in the Arena Stadium Stampede. Bank of America brawl out. That, I mean, that was a lot going on. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. The main event was good. I mean, that'll be one of the highlights. I feel like for me. But I mean, overall, I didn't think the show was bad. But I think at the same time, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like AEW tries too hard a little bit. Like they're trying so hard to appeal to what
you don't say.
They're trying so hard to appeal to probably literally everything we've ever said in our lives about wrestling, and now they've taken all of that probably 20 years too late and tried to reincorporate it a little bit. That's just my overall thoughts. Let's go to. Let's get a little balance because I think Justin may agree with me maybe a little. So let's get a little bit of balance and let's go to Casey next.
Are we doing our overall?
Just overall, how you felt about Don, not Callis 2022?
Is it over yet? That
It's not.
I'm sorry. No show should ever go on until almost 1 a.m. No. Stop. I mean, we'll get into it. I think having new belts made that aren't even going to be defended for the tournament was stupid. I think you could have taken that money that you spent on 2 pointless belts and 2 pointless cups and just donated that money to the Owen Hart Foundation.
Ding, 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 ding.
But I mean, what do I know? You know?
Actually, they just made 1 cup actually for both
No,
Britt and.
there's 2.
There was
Look,
2.
There was 2 out there. I only saw 1.
Look
Like
on
they-
Adam Cole. Look on
Yeah.
Adam Cole's Instagram. There is 2.
Really?
There is
They
2.
made
Yeah.
2.
Which that doesn't really make sense. Like, why would they make 2? Because like it's going to the same
Welcome
household.
to AEW.
This is true. This is true. But go back onto your point. What you're saying.
It's pointless. It's dumb. I mean, not to mention the fact that, and I had kind of mentioned this to Adam. Like, I love Adam Cole. Don't get me wrong, and I don't have a problem with Britt Baker, but I don't understand why they were the 2 that won this. You could have had somebody who knew Owen Hart win this tournament.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Yeah.
sir. The reason why they won is they both wore pink.
This is true. But there are guys who are still wrestling that knew Owen Hart. You could have had someone like that win. This didn't do anything for them. This didn't put Adam Cole or Britt Baker over. They're already over. It didn't help a young talent. What did this do? Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, I could understand that.
Yeah, see, I actually didn't mind the Adam Cole winning, but like Britt Baker, she just got formally done, running, having the AEW Women's Championship. I feel like they could have built a new star out of Ruby Riott.
I mean, this is.
Ruby Soho.
Justin,
Sorry.
Justin,
Yeah, go
Justin,
ahead.
Let's just be honest.
And
This
they really
is-
haven't built
this is-
Adam Cole that much. They haven't really built him up very well that much.
No.
They've been rushing. They really rushed with him. With him getting that title match back at Revolution.
But I mean, Justin, can we be honest?
Yeah, go
Like,
ahead.
this is AEW doing the couples thing that they've done 100 times
Yeah,
already.
it's
Like,
true.
like when I saw it, honestly, I saw the result before I saw the matches, which made me disinterested in the matches. Not because I knew the result, but more so I think I just was a little checked out. But at the same time, like my issue was they did this couples thing again. They already have 8 million groups there ever were. They already showcased the fact that everybody's in a couple ever. So like and like that's fine. If it's in a small glass, right? That's fine. Within a grain of salt, right? I can't think of the actual cliche, but so I'm making things up. But like that's fine in small doses, right? That's fine if it's gonna be in small doses. Not if every single thing that you ever see is factions and couples.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yes.
not. It's
Yeah,
not
see,
hitting me.
like I said, I really wish it wasn't like the couples winning it. I did my Adam Cole win, because like to try to build him back up better. Because like I said, when he got beat by Orange Cassidy, when he took that, that first match, that big match that I lost.
The hug bump.
Yeah, the hug bump that really hurt Adam Cole a bit there.
Greatest bump ever.
No,
You shut your filthy mouth.
the hug bump that really hurt Adam Cole there. And then when he lost to Hangman,
It was devastating. It was a devastating bump.
it
He
was.
took a hug bump that wasn't by a best friend. I don't understand.
Hey, he is
oh
the
my
best friend.
God.
You shut your mouth.
Look at my avatar, folks. That's my face right now.
That's literally Adam's face the entire show.
And again, I'm so good. I'm like a ventriloquist, like I'm talking, but the mouth's not moving.
Move your mouth, damn it.
Okay.
Blink twice if you're in danger.
Justin, you want to give your overall thoughts here?
My overall thoughts, I thought it was an okay show. They try to really overbook, like they try to have everybody on the show, which there's matches that don't need to be on the show.
You have 2 shows weekly.
I mean, I barely watch Rampage. I mean, it's Dynamite. Hard for me to catch Dynamite, but I actually don't mind. Like, I'm happy that they don't do pay-per-views every month, because like this would get really tiring. Like I would be really upset with them doing like 4 hour, like or actually no, it's like 5 hours.
Justin, on the
Counting the
contrary to
pre-show.
that,
Yeah.
on the I want to say on the contrary to that, if they're gonna put two pay per views in one, then they might as well have just done two pay per views then.
Yeah, but I don't mind like doing it, like having it quarterly. Like having a longer pay per view. But then again, they're having that what's that show next month? That
Forbidden Door.
the Forbidden Door show.
I wish they could have named anything but that, but the concept is fine. Just don't name it some cliche thing you already have.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm so sick of that term. It's
the
just
Forbidden Door.
It's like the guys. What are we doing?
I'm pretty sure Impact started saying it, but they didn't use it every moment they could.
Impact is a true Forbidden Door.
See, like, it was fine for what it was worth at the time, but like they literally could have a rehash and just call, when worlds collide. Since New Japan is kind of a fusion of lucha and the strong style and whatnot, but yeah, Forbidden Door. Like, I hear that term and I roll my eyes now.
It doesn't make sense because obviously we know, in today's professional wrestling, we know if you're going to be showing up on a show, there's a 90% chance that you're already signed. It's not a Forbidden Door. It's not. Yes, there's a chance that somebody could, like I could see an MJF, saying screw his contract and going and showing up on WWE if they would sign him. I could see him doing that. But for the most part, you're not going to get a Forbidden Door. It's just a stupid gimmick that they're desperately trying to milk everything out of it that they can. Stop.
Yeah. I feel you. I don't like it either. And then like the Forbidden Door aspect of it doesn't even make sense anymore, right? It's 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years too far down the road because let's be honest, Ring of Honor was the one that busted open this whole Forbidden Door thing anyway when they started working with New Japan to begin with. Adam,
that's not a Forbidden Door because you're working with the company.
Well, yeah, but no, I'm saying the concept of the fact of calling it a Forbidden Door because people don't like wrestling companies weren't really working together like that back then. Like if you want to put some logic behind it, that it would make more sense to say it then.
What's logic, huh? What is logic?
But
he's a rapper.
Adam, I think he's retired.
No, he's actually coming back.
So I admit I finally tuned in right in the middle of Jade and Anna Jay. Just because reasons like that. Man, I didn't start it. I didn't watch it from the start, et cetera. But I'm like, okay, I'll go through the show and I'll go back and look at what I missed because the one match that I was looking forward to the most, I believe, opened the show.
And it was a squash.
which honestly, thank God. Thank God because I want to put over strongly. God bless the medical team of AEW. Precision on attending to MJF because yes, you put the little breathing mask on right over the face and head, like not over the mouth, not where it needs to be, just over the head, the nose and the head. So good job, guys. Good job.
Adam, you know what's funny about that? My girlfriend was watching the show at that point. The one moment of wrestling she got to watch this weekend, right? And she's like, "That was so fake." I was like, "They going at AEW."
But what does that say? What does that say about? I mean, it's not just her, but it's everyone. Like someone would look at that and be like, that is not where that goes. People would have no medical experience, but just on the surface, that's not where that damn thing goes. My favorite, and I think I shared it to you guys, was they showed that, and then there was that meme of Buzz Lightyear from the first Toy Story movie. I don't believe that man's ever been to medical school.
Well, and what made it funnier even for me was his head is like not even on the backboard. It's like bent. And I'm like, yeah, no, he's paralyzed. That's not how you're supposed to support the neck. Not
Yeah.
have it.
Immobilize it. Yes. But I like I was half-ass okay with the show up until the street fight. The street fight completely killed the vibe for me. And look, I had a somewhat of a pissing contest with somebody that was like, well, first of all, he goes, oh, this guy's got a podcast with 9 followers. I don't give a shit about that. And let me just say, I'll put him over this one time. His name was Dan with the Plan 247. I'm like, how long did it take you to come up with that?
I'm a
And
Dan
he
with the
said,
plan.
and he goes, yes, Brian Kendrick. And then he goes, man, just sit back and enjoy the show. Damn. I said, you responded to me, homie. But anyway, but like it completely killed it for me. I was embarrassed, and people said it was the best street fight in years. And then the people that were like, I loved the match, but I hated the finish. The finish was the half-ass appealing thing about the match, because I'm actually shocked that they did put Jericho and those guys over. And I swear to God, I think I told you guys this. That is the first time I've ever seen 2.0 and that Daniel Garcia win a match. They do run-ins every week, and then when they have a match, they look like fools because they get beaten into powder. This time they get beaten into powder, they get color, and then they win. They weren't even involved in the finish. And I love Jon Moxley doesn't sell anything in these hardcore matches. He falls into a table that has barbed wire on top, and he sells it like he has been shot.
Yeah.
Which completely kills the purposes of gimmick matches when you have them every week. I'm glad they saved something like this for pay-per-view, but it was numbing, because I was just like, it was just another garbage match. And I was telling DJ before we went live, they want to get on WWE for their camera jerkiness and jump cuts, which I agree with. How many times did you see it in this match? You couldn't keep track. You couldn't keep track of what the hell was going on. And
Yeah.
the music. Like we can dive in a little bit more. New Jack is the only time that ever worked. It's
I was
not
about
going
to
to
bring
work.
it up. Yeah.
It's never going to work with anybody else, because that fit New Jack. This was a forced thing, and which was deliberate, because but the heat spot was Jericho pulling the plug and then everybody booing. But it was a side. It was a side aspect, a tangent to the match that it didn't matter. It was annoying as fuck. Thank you for making me hate that song now, AEW. Thank you, Tony Khan.
It was just a distraction, so you didn't pay attention to what the fuck was going on because you had no idea. Like, and Adam and I were talking about the jump cuts and everything, and I think Matt Menard is one of the guys from that
Yeah,
got
Matt
color.
Menard. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was one of the ones who got color first. I didn't even see how he got color. I didn't like. You didn't even show how he got busted open.
No, the jump cut was so hard he got color. That's what it was.
You know, I think it was kind of corny with the whole Eddie Kingston. I think it was maybe Angelo Parker, maybe. Like, when they were up on the concourse area and, like, they were using... Like, they had ketchup and mustard all over him. Like what the fuck is this?
That's because they tried to recreate every hardcore thing they ever did. They tried to recreate GCW.
And this kind of goes back... This kind of goes back to, like, when WCW, you know, with Sting, you know, with him coming, like, having a ketchup and, like... Did he have... What was it, like, back in the day? Like, because I was watching something, and, like, back in the day, like, he had went, like, into Eric Bischoff's office, or something. It was, like, with Sting. You know what I'm talking about, Adam? Like, he had ketchup and mustard, or he had something on him. And then, like, it was like, he's not ready for a title, or something like that. Like, he's not ready. Like, I don't remember what that was from. But I know it was with Sting. It's back in WCW.
But just that whole thing in general, they tried to recreate the concession stand fight from Memphis. They tried to recreate everything from the Attitude era.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to recreate anything they saw from GCW, ECW, etc. It was garbage. It was nuts. It was not a fight. It was just random shit happening for the sake of random shit happening. And listen, this is the business now. We have completely devalued and completely brainwashed everybody into thinking everything from the early 2000s on, and I'll even give it a little bit better perspective. The mid 2000s on, that this is pro wrestling. Yes, we know it's BS and this, that, and the other. So let's just have fun. No one's trying to devalue quote fun, the fun aspect of it, whatever. Though, but for one thing, I didn't care for this match to happen to begin with. But I'm like, okay, let's see what we're doing. And going back to the theme song, how is that something that is just like viable and that you want to hear the whole time? I don't mind that song, particularly Joan Jett's version, but for the love of God, it doesn't fit for a fight. And I'll say this now. I'm tired of the stands entrance. Moxley, just one time, I will give you props. If you just enter from the locker room, from the aisleway, something. It worked for a little bit. It's redundant. Like, do you just sit in the parking lot and wait and say, like Mox, you're on? It's getting old. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm also sick and tired of them defending, and I mean the fans, defending this horse shit. This went on way too long. There were 2 more matches after that. This was a poorly timed show. The Owen Hart Cup was unnecessarily long. And not only was, like, to me, the wrong outcome for the women's side, they were back to back.
I feel like
back to back. Did Martha Hart, answer me this,
Whoa.
did Martha Hart come from a wedding? Or did she come from the Kentucky Derby?
And then
What was going on with that freaking outfit?
at the end, she's like, "I hope next year everyone wears a fancy hat." I'm like, "What?"
Wait a
that
minute.
didn't make any sense.
And the vignettes, the pre-tapes, they were saying that this is the most prestigious tournament in the history of pro wrestling. It just started 2 months ago. Establish it as something first. Don't just say that to try to put it over. This pay-per-view drove me nuts. It is everything wrong with the business today. I have watched all 7 hours of a WrestleMania, and it did not feel as long as this damn show.
Well, and the one thing that just blew my mind, and it's a little thing, but again, it goes back to the music that was playing the entire match. They played the song all the way through, and then you would think, oh, the song's over. Now it's just going to stop, and no, they started it again. They started the song again.
I just want to know if they were playing the song from my iPhone, holding it up to the microphone like this, because
probably it just kept it on repeat.
Like, but it wasn't like it was like the version that Moxley would actually come out to. It was like they had to pull it up on some sort of backyard website, LimeWire, if anybody remembers that. Right, they had to pull it up on LimeWire with all the ads in it, and it sounded like it was recorded in a hole, down in the sewer or something.
Hey, hey, here you go, Napster. Something from Napster. I wanted to take a nap before this match even started. Someone, I think it was Brian Last on Twitter's like, how many more matches are there? I said, I don't know, but I'm starting to get tired. Then that happened, and then I got fueled back up because I was mad. this show. And going back to the music. Yes, I know I'm hanging on to this, and it's probably irrational, but I don't care. What was the name of the song that New Jack played for his theme?
It wasn't it the Ice Cube. No. It was Tupac. It wasn't
No,
Tupac.
It was Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. The
Yeah, Ice
song
Cube
is
and Dr. Dre. Yeah.
the song is called "Natural Born Killers."
Killers. Yeah, Natural Born Killers.
Not Wild Thing. Like that's childish. Like I said, for New Jack, it worked. It worked. It fit the vibe of the fact that like, you're going to see chaos. And ECW again was 20 almost 30 years ago now. Just can we let that be in the past? That they were the only ones that perfected the wild style that got a little bit of a niche audience that actually had some legs to it. They're trying to do way too much. They're trying to appease too many marks. They're not letting things build to things a la Blood and Guts. I don't understand how. And for Casey brought this up, don't give Tony Khan a microphone anymore.
Well, and speaking of building, the one thing that they are building well and doing a slow burn with, Wardlow and all the fans. Oh, he's going to be the next one. He's going to be the next champion. He's going to be the next champion. Let it be a slow burn. He doesn't need it right now. He does not need to. He doesn't need to be next. He doesn't. Let him go for one of the other titles. Let it slow burn.
Well, I mean, speaking of slow burns, a guy I feel like they're doing a pretty good job with is MJF, because he's gonna. I mean, if he stays, of course.
Yes.
He's gonna get it right. He's the.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a top talent in all of wrestling, but
he's a guy who can bounce back from this loss. Like he has a mouth on him, and like he gets so much heat. Like he can bounce from this. Bounce back from this loss so easy.
Of course.
Yeah. And I kind of understand why they made it the squash, because I didn't think that Wardlow he could like last. I didn't think that they could do a long match here. So I kind of understand why they did that, but like. I didn't really understand the whole stuff with like MJF. He's saying that he booked a flight out of Las Vegas and all that. Like
it was to make us think. It was to make us think. That's why I put it in the chat of like it may very well be a work, but I like the fact that they were presenting it as a shoot, and he was even mocking it into the ring with the hands to the side, acting like he was an airplane. I loved it. Obviously, going through. Different clips and stuff, whether it be Twitter or YouTube, but because of that street fight, I didn't care enough to go back and watch the actual whole show, and I just got little bits and pieces from there. So, yeah, you don't overexpose Wardlow. You get the outcome that you want. After him having to go through all those. Whatever those challenges where he has a handicap match, he had to face Spears in a cage with MJF as the ref, blah blah blah. The payoff is you want to see MJF get the teetotal piss kicked out of him, and boom, it worked.
And you didn't have to use any foreign objects or anything to do it. Just put Wardlow over as a natural born, well, for lack of a better term, killer. All right. So I mean, I think we can all agree the worst moment of the night was
the whole show.
Anarchy in the Arena, I guess.
Match of the night over here.
I know. Well, they said the match of the night. At least the consensus I was seeing that the match of the night was Britt Baker and Ruby Soho, and they said if that tells you anything how bad the show was. And again, that match was fine.
Wait, they're saying that was match of the night.
I was seeing a lot of people saying that was match of the night, and it was okay. But
I thought that match was too slow for my liking. I don't know. I wasn't big a fan of that.
It dragged a little bit. It did kind of pick up a little bit at the end, whatever though. But like that's the other thing. That crowd was dead. That crowd was dead by that point. They were tired. Because they weren't used to a card go that long.
Well, both of them were missing something though. Like to me, I felt like for whatever reason, both of those matches were missing. I was so excited to watch Joe versus Cole when I still felt like something was up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right
well, the finish to the match was like abrupt. It was like Joe was trying to hulk up or make a little bit of a comeback, whatever though. But it was just last shot 1, 2, 3. Like it was like, flat.
I hate how Fish got involved in it. Like it's a tournament, you know. It's the finals of the tournament, you know. I didn't feel like Bobby Fish needed to get involved, and like
What?
I don't understand that. No, go ahead.
To kind of bounce back to the Ruby Soho match, because like I've also seen people say that was like match of the night, and I think I was talking to Adam about this while we were watching, or at least while I was watching the match.
You mean while we were screaming?
Yeah, they need to stop over exaggerating things and overemphasizing things. Like the entire match, they were talking about, Rancid, they did such a good job. Good job performing.
I know where you're going with this.
and her song. They did her song. Blah blah. Blah. Okay, we know. Why don't you just tell her that she's gonna lose? Just tell us she's gonna lose.
Ruby. So
Every other comment they made was about Rancid playing her song.
oh, and by the way, Rancid better than Fozzy. Fight me.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, I just wanted to hear "This is mine, this is mine,
She does like Rhea Ripley Ruby Soho looks like an anorexic Rhea Ripley.
All right. So to close out the show, because I feel like we went through the worst moment. What is the best moment / match of the night for you guys?
Me when I went outside to take a dogs for the walk.
Okay,
That's good.
good enough. Casey, you want to say say the same?
I feel like if I wasn't so incredibly exhausted from a show that ended at like 1 a.m., it probably would have been Punk winning the title.
Oh, God, we didn't even talk about that.
I was so exhausted and I was so just done with this show that I didn't even care. I did not even care. His first title win in 7, 8 years? And
9 years.
9 years, and I did not care because it was at like 1 a.m.
To quote Casey, he goes, "Wait a minute! I took the dogs outside. I took a shower. I came back, and the show is still going on."
I did all of that, and the tag team match was still going on.
This is true. This is true.
That is how long the show was.
Oh, by the way, like, I like Jungle Boy. I'm a little annoyed with Luchasaurus. Why couldn't they given that to Starks or Hobbs or
Powerhouse Hobbs? They should have gave it to Powerhouse Hobbs.
Why wasn't Hookhausen in this match? Explain this to me.
I mean,
They were too busy on the pre-show.
Yeah, they're too busy on the pre-show.
Why were they on the pre-show? They're one of the most over teams you have.
You know, there could have been a few matches.
Kill.
There could have been a few matches that could have gone on to the buy-in, and I wouldn't have cared about. I wouldn't have cared about it. You know, actually, a very underrated match.
Dynamite.
You know, a match I wouldn't mind. You know, a match I was very underrated on the show was it was Kyle O'Reilly and Darby.
Yeah,
that was very underrated.
But that was another thing too. Like I enjoyed it, but the crowd was flat for that match.
Like I feel like there's this one spot that Darby Allin did in the match where like he does a tope and like it looks like he lands on his head almost. I got ooh that spot.
Oh, where he folded up like an accordion to himself.
Yeah.
Speaking of who was it that freaking landed on his head on his dive? Oh, who was
Brody
it?
King. Brody King. He pile drove and power bombed himself. It was the
he was doing a tope con hilo over the top rope, and then like he got
it was a flip over the top rope. And by the way, JR is furthering his stance of he doesn't give a fuck about this company. You know, excrement. He's giving us, the conquil, and JR's like, or a top wrist lock. And then, wait a minute, we haven't even talked about the worst. Okay, I'm sick and tired of everyone that is, oh, what a surprise entrant or a surprise debut. And everybody has their own theme song. We've never seen them before on the show, but but they got a theme song. We're talking about Athena, and I'm happy. I'm happy that she's with AEW now, but that and Hathaway, Blevins, or as Casey said, I called him he showed up, and of course Excalibur knows everybody, and he goes, I know who that is. Tony's like, I know who that is, and JR goes, I've never seen him before, kind of insinuating like, guys, stop making it seem like we know everybody that comes into this company.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Well, I was just gonna add with the Kyle O'Reilly match, and I think this is just an issue, a problem with the fan base today, and it annoys me because I love Kyle O'Reilly. Like, DJ will tell you, I have been a huge Kyle O'Reilly fan since
I'm in an armbar as we speak because of Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, exactly. But people, all they want is the high flying shit. He is one of the Adam. He is one of the best technicians, underrated in professional wrestling. But you'll see him do a submission, and what do you hear from the crowd? Or what would I guarantee you would hear from the crowd if you were there live? Rest hold.
Fight forever. Oh,
rest hold. Like, people, that's the one thing I wish fans would appreciate more is submission work. Because
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say they were gonna say "fight forever" because that's the chant they. I mean, I literally came in here and sat down in my chair and they chanted "fight forever" for me. So.
This is awesome.
No, it's not.
Okay, so I was at Monday Night Raw last night. This is a sidebar. I was at Monday Night Raw last night.
Also, give your match of the night, match/moment of the night while you're on this sidebar too.
We don't care.
Okay.
We don't care.
But no, so my sidebar is here. So people at Raw, so it was during Ali and Tommaso Ciampa.
We don't care.
And they were cheering for CM Punk. I'm like, no, quit this. Stop this. Like, hey, fuck you. Fuck you over there. Fuck you. Hold on. There you go. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. Okay. Yeah, so I'm like, no, please quit chanting CM Punk. He's in the other company. We don't need to hear these chants anymore. Like, it's a smarky people. Like, I tell you, like, I hated when they were doing that on Raw last night. But, okay, so match of the night for me. I really enjoyed the Thunder Rosa and Professor, what's her name?
Serena Deeb.
Yeah, the Professor Serena Deeb and Tootsie Rosa. That's what I like to call her. But yeah, I thought that match was really good. Tootsie Rosa, yes. Yes, on this air podcast, that's what we call her. Tootsie Rosa. No, but I thought that match was actually pretty good. Like, I feel like Serena Deeb, she was really giving it, she was really giving it the best, like that she was. Even though the feud was built bad, I thought they were doing really good. And I also liked the spot where they were in the figure four and they were slapping each other. I really thought that was good. But no, I really thought that was.
But to me, that was another one that it was missing something. I can't pinpoint what, but it felt like it was missing. It was a fine match.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I could agree with that. My match moment of the night, probably Punk. I thought Punk and Adam Page was good. I know Punk botched the buckshot lariat a couple times. I mean, he's Punk. I'll cut him some slack, right? But at the same time, I think I try to, and maybe it's because they're more common in AEW. I don't know, but I try to look at botches a little bit more differently than I used to. I want to see how you're going to recover from it because these are live performers doing things I can't do. So, with that being said, out of respect for them, as long as it's not a thing that happens all the time, I want to see how you're going to recover from it. I want to see is is your recovery from the botch worth you botching the stupid spot?
Well, he had I was going to say he had a match with Penta, and they were trying to do something from the top rope. It was really contrived and unnecessary, and they both fell. But you know what they did? They sold. They actually just laid down on the mat and made it seem like it was a fluky thing. I can buy that, but there's a difference between botching and something look like a struggle.
Well, and commentary was spot on about it too, because they were like, that's not his move, right? Like, I mean, and obviously, if that's not your move, that's not really in your wheelhouse to do, you shouldn't be able to do it. Not perfectly.
Well,
yes, Casey?
And that's something that, and I know you're going to say, oh, we should have him on the show. That's something that used to annoy me so much about Rabbit, when he would talk about all these botches, and I'm like, dude, I get it, but botches happen. I don't care who you are. You are going to botch something, here or there. I mean, guarantee you can find Macho Man botches. I guarantee you could find Bret Hart botches. I guarantee you could find CM Punk botches. You name them, I guarantee you can find a botch somewhere, because it happens. The ropes are wet from sweat. The canvas is coming up, or a board is moved, or on the ring or something like that. Things happen, and I think fans get too much on that sometimes. It's like, oh, he botched it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, you try it. You get in there and do it. That's right. Shut up.
And I think, too, like, we focus so much as wrestling fans about how sport-like wrestling is. Well, if somebody has a bad game, are they going to be a bad player for the rest of their career?
Exactly.
No. That and like I mean I really started to think about that. Like, I'm like, if somebody has a bad performance, if somebody misses a shot that was just not in their range, does that make them a bad player? No. So why is it that we hold wrestlers who really literally do get one take to do that thing, right?
Yep.
They get one take to do the thing that they're trying to do.
Yep.
We hold them to a standard that they can't. I mean, that it is a performance per se. I get that. I understand it's a performance, but at the same time, it's the most live and fast-paced performance there ever is, and there is no do-overs for you. You can't come back down and shoot 5 more mid-range shots and hope you make 4 out of those 5.
Exactly.
But any final thoughts as we get ready to sign off? Anything else y'all wanted to mention while you were here?
That street fight sucked.
It sucked pond water.
The trios tag match with the House of Black and
oh my God. How is it Julia Hart lands the mist and Malachi Black has been doing it for a year and a half, has not hit one person in the face with it? even at point blank range, he still misses.
I will say this: I need a Malachi Black versus Pac singles match yesterday, today, and forever. Thanks.
Oh, I need
now and forever.
I need to see Kyle O'Reilly versus CM Punk, please. I think that would be a great match.
I would love that.
But as far as Malachi Black, the reason why he hasn't hit anyone with the mist is it's simple. It's because no one has ever truly good.
Nobody's ever truly evil. I do the things you never could, and we will never be equal.
I think that's a perfect way to sign us off from this show. As always, be sure to watch us and listen to us every single solitary week, except for certain weeks, on Spotify.
But listen to us every week, except for certain weeks.
I'm gonna turn it into a slogan. On Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can watch us on YouTube. As always, the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. You can also Google us. We are Googleable. Oh, we're on Pro Wrestling Tees with T-shirts. You can buy, you can wear, and promote the podcast without ever saying a word.
Don't Google 2 belts 1 cup.
Please don't.
Do not do it. Do not
Please
do it.
don't.
I've already tried, and I am regretting that decision.
But as always, we'll see you guys on the next one. This has been the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean, and Justin means, and Adam means, and Casey means always.
I don't mean it.
And he does. An Instant Classic.